What's up, everybody? Joanna here. I'm on my way to work today, so I'm actually going back to the grind. I'm recovering pretty nicely over from the burnout. I still don't feel like I'm 100%, but I'm well enough that I think I'm going to be fine. So, here's hoping. I know I mentioned in my last video, or rather I put in the title just the two words, I quit, which I know may sound a little clickbaity, but obviously I'm not quitting my job, I'm just quitting the longer hours. So definitely going to doing everything I can to keep this positive momentum going, including doing my YouTube, even if it means just hitting the record button and start talking without having a script. So I really do need to get better about this, and can always go back and edit dead space out later or whatever. So that's what I am trying to do here on this rainy day here in the Seattle area. So, I went to a party yesterday with my girlfriend, Laness, and her daughter, and it's kind of like a small get-together. It was for our World of Oz LARP that is starting up in a couple of weeks for the first time in like 2.5 years. So, for a while, I did not want to go back to the LARP at all, just because I didn't want to be around people. I don't really feel like I'm very good at LARPing. I get awkward in front of the camera, let alone trying to play the role of my character. But the way I'm feeling now, I'm actually leaning more towards just going ahead and participating in the LARP. I mean, I gotta go there anyway to drop Laness off. So if I'm going to be there anyway, and I've already requested next Sunday off, because it generally ends like, right around noon on the Sunday, because it goes from pretty much Saturday and half a day Sunday, and I never feel like working after the fact, so I got that day off. I may as well just go ahead and go for it, I think. It's like I have a whole different perspective on it now. It's like before, I'm like, I get bored because I'm socially awkward, and oh my gosh, it's even worse when I'm in character and stuff. And but then, thinking back to when I was going, I began to realize I'm not alone in that, because there's a lot of people just kind of sitting around chilling, reading books, when there's nothing really going on. So yeah, if nothing else, I could just sit back and read a freaking book, and I can't just whip out my phone and start screwing around on that, because everything that we have in in sight of everybody has to be something that looks like it's from that time frame, the whole Wizard of Oz time. So and plus the other thing is just to get away from electronics, get off of Facebook and YouTube and that sort of thing. And half the time I can't even figure out where my the lens of my front camera on my phone is. I got told by a friend yesterday that my last video, it looked kind of off because it looked like I was looking at the screen. I thought I was looking at the lens, but I was actually looking at a light, apparently. So I really need to use the rear camera, but then I'm always paranoid of, what if it's not centered properly? And I guess I'm just gonna have to check it before I really get into a video, right? But anyway, I might actually do that again. I mean, during the day it's kind of like a calm, peaceful fantasy world sort of thing, and then at night it's like a more of a horror And it's like we're, sleeping in a cabin somewhere, because this is like in a campground where all this takes place at. And they've got like cots in there and some couches and whatnot for us to sleep on. And we got these obnoxiously big locks that look like they're from like back in the day, and stuff that we put on our door to pretend like we're locking it. But the problem is the gnomes can actually eat locks and get in. And it could be like 3 a.m. and all of a sudden you get waken up by a bunch of gnomes or some sort of monster, just barging in and attacking you out of nowhere, and you gotta jump up and fight them off and cast spells or whatever. Now, I'm hoping I fare better this next time around, because last time around when that happened, I was just so sleepy, which is weird because I'm used to being up all night every night working anyway. But this time around, it just a bunch of gnomes storm our little cottage and stuff, and I just didn't have it in me to get up and start fighting them off and stuff. And I just said screw it. I just kept laying there feigning sleep, and Paladin walks over and kind of whispers in my ear because he thought I'd been injured, and I just kind of whispered to him like, no, I'm pretending to be asleep. He chuckles a little bit. It's like, oh, okay, gotcha. In a way, I kind of feel bad about that though, because I kind of feel like I'm missing part of the fun, So I really want to be rested well enough that I can jump up at any time and start playing. So though we might be there have been talks about building these stasis pods that, for anybody who just wants to sleep through the night part of it, you put the stasis pod around you and you sleep in it, and then everybody looks at it and automatically sees, oh, okay, well, that's out of games, so safe sort of thing. Or maybe I'll just sleep under the cot with a blanket draped over it or something. We've actually had a player do that before, which is kind of hilarious. Somebody rushes in, some warrior rushes in with a sword and fights off the enemy, and then all of a sudden he hears a voice saying are they gone yet? And turn on, like, what the hell? What? It's like, are they gone yet? Don't mind me, I'm hiding under here like a coward. I don't want to die. But anyway, yeah, I might actually get into that again. So, the party was a little awkward to me, too, somewhat. It's like everybody seems to sort of have their own clique amongst the group of LARPers. Because obviously, a bunch of them are friends, outside of the game, so nobody really talks to me. And unfortunately, they're polite enough to me. I mean, they don't ignore me, but they usually don't initiate conversations with me either, so. It is what it is. So yeah, I guess in a couple of weeks, I'm gonna have a 3-day weekend. So and we're looking at like going out and doing some camping too. So maybe I'm a little undecided about that. At the very least, I want to get back into hiking again. Stuff like that, stuff I enjoyed when I first came out here before I became all, workaholic and that kind of thing, so. Anyway, Sunday Rambles. If you're still watching at this point, thank you. Because again, I want to get back into this. I want to be better about this, even if it's just doing a YouTube Shorts, which I just did my first YouTube Short here just the other day, and it was a little tedious, a little nerve-wracking, but in a way, because I actually had to come up with a script for that. Now, I didn't write it out or type it up per se. I just kind of came up with it in my head as I was going along, and then all of a sudden it's like, beat the clock. I gotta get all this stuff out within 60 seconds or less, and it started to become like a game to me eventually. Started to feel more like a game, and then I was like laughing about it. Get towards the end, almost perfect, almost have it, and then I screw up. I'm like, no. And with it being 60 seconds long, I actually played the video all the way through this time around, which I normally don't do. I normally can't stand to do it because, I don't know, to me it just seems cringeworthy hearing my voice on the playback and seeing myself, seeing all the little quirks that I have I usually don't notice. But if it's in a 60-second video, it's not nearly as bad, so I may do more of those. It's definitely a challenge. But then the thing I don't like about the shorts is you can't edit them. You can't come up with a thumbnail to put on them. Like I look like a freaking cartoon character or something in the thumbnail for that. And it's like I kind of hate it, but I'm like amused by it all at the same time. I don't know. So anyway, I guess this is where I'm going to stop the video at. I've been going for 12 minutes now. Holy crap. Anyway, yeah. Take care, y'all. Thank you for watching.